Okay, today's lesson is going to be over LanSchool and the features that LanSchool offers our teachers in order to monitor their students. So I'm going to open LanSchool, and here we are looking at a class that is has different things open on their screen so we can look and see what's happening. All right, so one of the first things I want to show you guys is that you can send out files to your students. Say you have a document you need them to review, so you want to send it out to them. So you would go to Administer, Send Files to Student. You would locate the file by clicking on Browse, Libraries. I'm going to go to the document library. I went ahead and created a folder that said LanSchool Files, and right here is the test document, and I'm going to click Open. That is putting it in the path. It is going to go to the student C drive, and they have a folder on their C drive called LanSchool Files. So that's where it's going to place it. You click Send Now. It tells you that it's sending the file to the student, and this is the students that are logged in right now, and that it's finished. So then if I was to look at the student, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to control a student so that you can see what the student is, that they do have the file. So I'm going to click right here, and we're going to control this student by going to Remote Control. When you click on Remote Control, you have control of the student. So I'm going to click right here, and I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to go to their computer, and I'm going to show you that they have a folder. So we're going to go to the C drive. Right here is their LanSchool Files, and in here is the test document that I just sent, and these are files that were sent at a previous time. Okay, so now I have control of the student's computer. They're not able to do anything because I'm controlling it. So now I need to release control of the computer and give it back to them. You would go to Control, Stop Viewing or Remote Controlling, and now I am back to seeing all the tiles on my screen. Now, there might be a time when you need to get all of your students' attention. You don't want them being on anything that they are currently working on. You want them to all stop working. So then you could blank their screen. So you could click right here, blank their screen. It tells you, since she is the person that's highlighted, it's just doing that one. If you want everybody, you would click off of it. Click blank screen. It's going to tell you that 21's computers are going to be blanked. And now all 21 kids are blanked. So they cannot do anything on their computer. When you no longer want to blank their screens, you click on it and it releases it. The next thing we're going to look at is limiting the web. When you limit the web, you have some different options. You can either block all, and when you click on block all, it says it's going to block all 21 computers from the web. It's now blocking them. What will happen is in a few seconds, any page that they have open with the web, they get this LanSchool has been blocked, and it says all current web pages have been blocked. So now I'm going to release control of this computer. Now, when I'm done blocking, I can come up here and stop web limiting, and it will unblock the web. So, don't want to block anymore. So now they're all unblocked. All right, so then when I want to, maybe I want a list of sites that I want them to be able to go to. I can go here to Configure Web Limiting. I can click on Allow, and these would be the sites that I would allow them to go to. So maybe eduphoria.pasadenaisd.org. I know many of you use the CBA testing, and you're using the eduphoria.pasadenaisd.org. And then the memorial page, memorial.pasadenaisd.org. Now these would be the only two websites that they would be allowed to go to. I can save this list, and right here I have allow list. You can have multiple allow lists. You just give it a name. So say maybe on test day you have a test allow list, and on regular days you just have a regular allow list. You click save, and now when you load it, or when you need to load it, you can just go back, click on it, and it's there. and you can load it. The same thing with blocked websites. You go in here, I have some sites that I have blocked. I would just click load, click on block list, click open, click apply, and now the block list is in there, and only sites that I have not blocked would be shown or be allowed. So I have a block all, allow list, block list, and if I need to configure it, I go to configure web. Now, the same thing can be done with the application right here. So we have limiting apps. You would just come here to configure. Now, anything that you have open on your screen. So if I open up Google Chrome and I open up Internet Explorer, these are opening in the background, and I click on add, these are in my list. So one of the things you could do is open the programs that you want your students to be allowed to use, and then you can click on it, click add, and it automatically adds that here. You click on save, you save your new allow list. And this is a different extension, it won't have that extension on it. This is an LSA list, so we click save, and now I have an allowed list that only allows them to go to those particular applications that I've told them they can use. Okay, so whenever I'm ready to use the allowed list, I go right here. It says which ones they can use. I click continue. Any other thing that they're doing would be blocked. Stop application limiting, and that stops it. All right. You can limit the printing. If you don't want students to print, you can click on restrict printing. If you don't want students to be able to use jump drives, the little flash drives where they can store information, you could click here and that would block that. And if you wanted to mute the students' computers, you could click on mute, and then they no longer would have sound on their computers. And then that's the unblocking. All right. The next feature I'm going to show you is showing them your teacher computer. If you have something that you need them to see on your computer to follow along with you as you do something, you can click on full screen, click continue, and now they're seeing, every one of them are seeing the same thing on their screen as I have on mine. When you no longer want to show them your computer, you go back to LanSchool, you click on stop showing teacher screen, and it will stop showing them the screen. Okay. Now, if you decide you want to show the class a student's computer, say you have somebody who has exceptional work and you want the whole class to see that work, you can click on the student's name, go to show student. It's going to show it to all 20 students. You click on continue, and now everybody can see what that student's working on. When you're ready to not show that student, click the button again, and now it's gone. The next thing I want to show you is if a student is on something that they're not supposed to be. Say they're watching videos or they are in an inappropriate site and you don't want them to, you want to take a screenshot of it so that you can put that with a referral. You can click on it. You can come up here to snapshot. You click snapshot. It's going to take a snapshot of that student's computer. You have their name, the computer that they're on, the date and timestamp. You just save that. You could save that. I'm going to put it right here in my LanSchool folder. Click save. And now it's there. And if I can go back and view it if I ever need to. Okay. Last thing is going to be releasing a computer. I showed you that once before, but I just want to make sure because sometimes people forget. We're going to click here. I'm viewing this student. I'm looking at them. I'm watching them work. I'm not actually controlling their computer. I'm just watching them answer their questions. If I want to control it or release it so that I'm not looking at it anymore, I come up here to the little drop down arrow and I can stop viewing, and it goes back to just seeing the students' computers. Okay. Now, it's very important that when you are done with your class, that you come up here and you release your students. To release your students' classes, you go up here to Administer, One-to-One, and you would click on Dismiss Current Class. At this time, this class is not, this is a lab, so I don't have it being, I'm not pulling a dynamic list, so I can't dismiss the class. It's always pulling that channel. But if I were pulling a dynamic list, then I would need to dismiss the class. Okay, so some of the other features that are on here, you can send out a vote. You would type in your question. It could either be a multiple choice question, and you put in which one, the answer of what you want them to do. And then what'll happen is the students receive the question on their screen with their multiple choice answers or the true false, and then they click on the answer, and when they click on the answer, it sends you a response. So we'll just do that for these 5 students that are currently on here. So we're going to do a Control A. I'm going to click on vote because you do have to have all the students selected. I'm just going to say this is 4th period. And I am going to send this question out to all of the students. And on their desk, you'll see it'll pop up with the question here in just a second. So there it goes. So like right here, this question has popped up. Now they'll answer the question, and as they answer it, you'll see the percentage of students that answer true or false. And I think right now these students are probably going, what is happening? So they're not exactly answering. But we can see the question on all of their computers. Okay, the next thing is creating a test. We can click on test. These are the people that are in the class right now. So I can send them a test, but we need to actually create the test first. So let's do that. So we're going to click on the little drop down arrow, and we're going to create a test. It's going to bring up another window. Here it is. So I create on new test. I can put in a question. And it's a true false. The answer is true. We're going to click save. So here's my first question. I can add another question. Maybe I want it to be a multiple choice question. So then I would say which question is the correct answer. C would be the correct answer. Delete these because I don't need an option. And then I save the question. So now I have a multiple choice question. I can title it. Here's question 1. I can title it. I would save it. Save test. It's telling me that I have saved the test to my document folder. All right. Then I can come back over here, click on the test button. Here's all the students. I would load my test and send it out to them. So those are the features that are in LanSchool. There are more videos attached to the lesson. You could go through and it walks you through individually how to do each of the things that I just showed you. And if you have any questions, just contact the tech liaisons. Thank you.